Japa, Jand, Yankee. These are some of the words a whole lot of people who have immigration aspirations use, to refer to one or two issues when it comes to moving from Nigeria to other parts of the world, more especially greener pastures. There is one very important yet easy route that a lot of professionals use, especially those people in the tech sector. It is called the Tech Nation Visa. It has been helping people for years now to move from Nigeria, from Africa to the UK, but there is a snag. Reports have indicated that by March 31, the Tech Nation visa would be suspended, more so stopped. And so we're beginning to ask questions. What happened to the people who have moved to the UK through the Tech Nation visa? What will happen to those people who are aspiring and who have even applied to move using the Tech Nation visa? Now, this is a conversation for those people who want to japa to listen to. Tech Hub.
What is even the Tech Nation visa? So what has become the Tech Nation visa today is actually the global talent visa of the United Kingdom, usually accessed through the endorsing body, which is Tech Nation, a non-profit in the United Kingdom that is dedicated to helping to identify qualified technology talents that are en route to the United Kingdom, sort of endorsing them, making it easy for the UK Home Department to be able to actually find out, whether or not they are qualified. So the shocking news got to everyone on January 31st that Tech Nation has lost its funding as a non-profit, and as a result would have to stop processing all tech talent visas, all global talent visas from March 31st. And this shock came to a lot of people who have either been procrastinating or were not even aware of what this is. And they're like, oh my God, this has even stopped before I could start. But the interesting thing is that the Tech Nation losing their funding does not mean the UK is stopping the global talent visa. It just means that this organization that has built so much expertise and relationship with the tech community, especially accelerators, universities, would no longer be the one endorsing. And I heard that it's a bank, a branch of a bank that actually won this new grant. So nobody really knows how that is going to pan out, when they're going to start accepting new applications. And people just have between January to March to put in whatever it is they have to. What we are grateful for is that most of the guys who have been endorsed and got into the UK with the global talent visa would not be affected by this move of the United Kingdom government. So the good thing is they already crossed that line.
How do you think the Tech Nation visa has impacted the stakeholders involved, be it the country or even the individuals that have been able to use their tech talents to find global opportunities in greener pastures?
Quite frankly, I believe it has been very, very helpful. The statistics actually are there to back it. The Tech Nation endorsement has been responsible for more than 90% of the technology talents that have moved to the United Kingdom within the last 5 years. So that is really, really a very important program, if you ask me, because it was responsible for the level of competitiveness that you could say the United Kingdom was able to get within the last couple of years. So for half a decade now, United Kingdom, the US, Japan, other world leaders, Germany, have been actually, competing for the same amount of tech talents coming from everywhere around the world. So not just Nigerians, have benefited from this, but overall tech talents from everywhere around the world.
I mean, I could call you a travel expert. Of course you are, or immigration expert as we were, thanks to the job that you do yourself and your team at Vesti. And we're going to talk about what Vesti does anyway and how it helps people, move from one place to another seamlessly. I mean, you've been in the tech ecosystem for God knows when. You've been active and are still active in the tech ecosystem. What does this say about how the nation treats its own? Let's put into consideration Nigeria, where we have talents. I mean, talents with immense gift, being taken by other nations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've always been an advocate for the connection between environment and potential. And, I don't really even see it as this country's taking our talents. I think what they've done is they've built an enabling environment and they are attracting people who really want to fulfill their potential. There is so much that still needs to be done in terms of ad infrastructure for our country. Somebody who graduates with a first class in computer science, and essentially can't find a place, to express his gifts and his talents, and he makes it up as it makes it to become a teller, in a bank, or eventually has to be, a contractor. Essentially, he hasn't really been able to live to his potential. If he finds the opportunity that another country is giving him, you would imagine that he would want to take it. So part of what we are doing in terms of advocacy with the Nigerian government is to continue to, express the importance of providing an enabling environment that will not only encourage Nigerians to stay back, but even attract people from other countries.
Now, you're big on immigration because you've seen the advantages. I want to help us demystify the value of immigration to a country like Nigeria, because a lot of people are saying people living in droves as this is going to be terrible for Nigeria. It's actually bad for Nigeria. But you have a different perspective to people emigrating from Nigeria to other parts of the country, because somehow they in turn contribute to the economic development of the nation. So talk to us about the perspective that you have.
People don't realize that the reason why we as humans do not have roots like trees is so that we can move around. It's inherent for humans to be nomadic, like to want to go to another country, especially when news of that faraway land, is encouraging. It's been like that from time immemorial. Humans will hear about education opportunities elsewhere, trade opportunities elsewhere, in a faraway land where there is milk and honey, and they would want to give it a shot. People have gotten to those countries and gotten disappointed in the past. Some other people have gone to those countries and they've actually made better economic opportunities. Part of what we try to do at Vesti is to be the operating system for immigration and to be able to show people a clear pathway to move to a country, and not just some emotional or sentimental approach to, oh, if somebody moved, or I'm going to go the same way. If you look at the analysis of where skilled workers are moving to, and you feel that you have the skills and you have a clear pathway of, a job offer from that place, then it makes sense, to make migration moves towards that particular place. And ultimately, what we try to also explain, especially to people who are in the name of being patriotic, just completely against foreign work or international expansion, what we tell them is to show them the statistics of the amount of remittances that immigrants who are established abroad make back to Nigeria. In a certain year, that amount was about $23 billion, and that is half of all of the money we made from oil that particular year. So it's something with its pros and its cons. In the short term, it strips us of the key talents that we need to do the work that provides us with a global GDP, or that's just in the meantime.
So talk to us about how Vesti leverages on technology to ensuring that people have a seamless transition from location to location.
So what we've built is an operating system that allows people to essentially be able to move from one country to the other, visualize their journey, manage their payments, and eventually see a path to economic prosperity when they get to that new country because of the financial services that we give them access to. So for example, a user begins using Vesti before they leave their home country to access key information about the destination. What are those complex immigration forms they need to fill? What do they need to do? Who do they need to talk to? Who will be their immigration attorney? And rather than getting into the hands of fraudulent people, they can use the platform, web and mobile, to be able to get access to this type of information.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show, Olusola.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Really a pleasure being able to like walk through this, and thank you for inviting me.
For a smarter you.